Hey everybody, good afternoon. It's Vicki Williams with the Willow Group eXp Realty, and thank you for joining me. I'm working from my living room again today. So the freedom of real estate is you can work from anywhere. And today I'm so excited because I have someone that is really special to my assistant Jessica. It's her friend Jessica, and she asked me to bring Jessica Baladad on here to introduce her and let everyone get to know her and her message. So thank you so much, Jessica, for joining me today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. I just really appreciate this opportunity.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Absolutely. So I really enjoy interviewing local business owners, and I'm particularly passionate about women in business and supporting them in their goals because as a woman in business, I love feeling supported and encouraged. And even though you're not necessarily a local business owner, you are a local app developer and you developed an app that's super important and super personal to you. So tell us a little bit about that, Jessica.
Yeah, so I developed an app called Feel for Your Life, and it's derived from my breast cancer story. When I was 33 years old, I was diagnosed with breast cancer after doing a self breast exam in the shower. I believe that a self breast exam is what ultimately led to my life being saved. Of course, there are a lot of people involved with that, my oncologists and surgeons and whatnot. But I found a lump while doing a self exam in the shower. It led to a breast cancer diagnosis. And I went through 16 rounds of chemo, 24 rounds of radiation, a double mastectomy, a hysterectomy, and a 10-hour flap reconstruction. And while going through all of that, I realized and discovered that women weren't really aware of self breast exams. And every year, 12,000 women under the age of 40 will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and yet the mammogram requirements are for those who are 40 and over. Now, I'm not against mammograms or ultrasounds. I think screenings are so important, but I like to advocate also for self breast exams and really breast health advocacy altogether so that a woman can be empowered and being proactive in her breast health journey. So, yeah,
And not just women, right? Men get breast cancer as
absolutely.
well.
Absolutely.
So it's not exclusively to women, but of course, women definitely are more vulnerable to that cancer. So, when you were diagnosed at 33 years old, did you have children at the time?
I did not have kids. My husband and I just have two cats. But
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering how that impacted your family life. What happened when you were diagnosed, and how did your life change?
So, I mean, it changed completely. I am the fourth generation on my dad's side of the family to be diagnosed with breast cancer, and we have no known gene mutation that's been discovered yet. It's been me, two aunts, my grandmother, six of her sisters, and my great grandmother have all had breast cancer. And then there are some cousins of my dad's as well on different sides of the family that have been impacted by breast cancer. But I mean, it just really, I was 3 years into my marriage with my husband, and we were actually kind of starting to have the conversation about when we would start having kids.
Hmm.
We weren't in a hurry. I mean, we had been married 3 years, and we really thought we had our whole lives ahead of us, for children. And so I knew that I was in a position where I had to make a quick decision about what to do with my ovaries, with my body. And I think seeing that I got this gene from my dad's side of the family, it hasn't been identified. We made the decision not to have kids. We're okay with it. We make peace with it. We love our nieces and nephews, and we love being the cool aunt and uncle to them. And so that is fine with us. So we were okay with making that decision. And yeah, so if we kind of went from there, and I went forward with having a hysterectomy as part of my treatment so that I could, take measures against future cancers being fueled uh, throughout the rest of my life.
Okay, I know that had to have been a huge curveball in your life plans, but you took something tragic that happened to you and you turned it into something to help others. Tell us what you did.
So, when I was going through treatment and I came out to my friends and family on social media and I was like, hey, I have breast cancer. I'm not going to be hiding under a rock. My physical appearance is going to change. So, if you see me out and I look a little different, this is why. And it was that conversation that started the conversation about self breast exams because I got a lot of questions from women who are like, how did you even know to go to the doctor about this? And I'm like, well, I do monthly exams with my menstrual cycle. You were doing them too, right? And it was crickets. Like, no, I didn't know that's what we were supposed to be doing as women. And I thought, wow, I've really got to do something about this. I really want women to know about this. You know, it's a powerful method for being proactive in your health and to open up discussions, you know, with your doctor. So I started Feel for Your Life first as a social media project on Facebook and Instagram. And then when the pandemic hit and I saw that screenings were going down, women were being diagnosed at later stages because they were missing doctor's appointments, I thought, okay, I want to be able to get tools and resources to women in the most effective way as possible. We're in the middle of the pandemic. I'm going to learn how to develop an app. I knew a little bit about building websites. I had a MySpace page, you know, 15 years ago, and I learned HTML then. So I just basically put the right minds around me. I taught myself what I needed to know and had an app in the App Store by the fall of 2021.
And it's called Feel for Your Life.
It's called Feel for Your Life, and it's available on the Google Play Store and in the App Store.
And what is it designed to do?
It's designed to help a woman be proactive in her breast health advocacy. What you can do, you can go in and you can set a goal for how often you want to do your self breast exams and what you want to achieve by using the app. And from there, you can learn how to do a self breast exam with instructions from the National Breast Cancer Foundation. You can learn about when is the right time, what questions to ask your doctor, learn about breast density, your genetics, learn about taking risk reducing measures against breast cancer. You can go in there and every month as you're doing your self breast exam, you can log what you find and be able to track the changes in the breast. Let's say you go like 3 or 4 months and everything's okay, but month 5, 6 down the road, you notice something that is unfamiliar to you. Well, you can go back and look at your notes in the app and say, okay, this wasn't here at that time, so maybe I need to go talk to my doctor. In fact, if you ever find something different or unfamiliar in your breast, I would highly encourage you to talk to your doctor about those changes. So you can go back and look at your notes. You can take notes every month. And then you can set reminders that will allow you to, you know, make sure that you do them every month or whenever basically your doctor wants you to. Your doctor is the best person to tell you when to do a self breast exam and the best method that works for you.
And what is the most important advice what's the message you're trying to share?
I'd say the message that I am trying to share is that I want women to feel confident and comfortable in their bodies and speaking up about their bodies and feeling good about having these discussions with their practitioners, with their doctors, with their medical providers, with the people who are providing care in their life so that they can take care of themselves.
And do you feel like it's really important to get that family history? How important is family history to the likelihood of you getting breast cancer? I know you're not a doctor, but you are experienced in this.
Yeah, so I forget the exact number. It's actually, I think, around 10 to 20% of cancers are actually genetic or hereditary. So the number is actually pretty low. I have friends in the breast cancer community. I have a friend of mine who passed at the age of 27 of breast cancer. She was diagnosed at 25. She was a vegan. She was healthy. She practiced yoga, no family history. She noticed her breasts were changing and that one was becoming bigger than the other. and thought it was just hormonal changes, but it turned out to be a tumor. And so she fought stage 4 cancer for about 3 years, 2.5, 3 years before she passed. So knowing your family history is really important because it can help, discover ways that you can be proactive in your health and to take risk reducing measures. And at the same time, it's good to know the practices of, self exams, getting screened, and advocating for yourself through your medical provider so that you can be ahead of, disease that may or may not run in your family.
You know, as women, I think that we are usually so busy taking care of things, taking care of households, taking care of other loved ones, taking care of, our clients if we're in the professional field, that I'm guilty of saying I don't always take care of myself the way I should. And so this is just such a great reminder. So the app, I'm sure, will remind you like an alert, right? Hey, don't forget, check your breast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can set the reminder on whenever you would like. I encourage women to coordinate with their doctor about the best time for them to do self breast
Yeah.
exams. Yeah, for me, my doctor wanted me to do my self breast exams after my menstrual cycle. And then after I had a hysterectomy, I was instructed to do them around the same time of the month. And I think, it's an easy practice. If you're taking showers anyway, just kind of it's something that you can work into your routine there. Or maybe right after, before you're getting dressed, one thing that I would do mine in the shower. If I noticed something different, I'd look in the mirror, and then I would lay down and get just kind of that third feeling of what it felt like. So I incorporated all three into my routine.
Well, thank God you did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
thank goodness, right?
Mhm.
So Jessica, what plans do you have in the future to expand on this mission of yours to advocate for breast cancer awareness?
So one thing that I'm wanting to do right now is that I'm talking with people right now, generating interest for or offering a telehealth option inside of the app so that women who may find something or have questions, they can get into the app, talk to a medical professional about their breast density, finding a lump, next steps to take, because as you're advocating for your breast health, you want to be comfortable with talking to the medical providers who will be giving you care as a result of that. And I want to make that easily accessible. Additionally, I am developing something called the breast method. And the breast method is a 6-step process, with breast being the acronym. B stands for be proactive. R stands for review your options for insurance. E stands for evaluate your options for medical providers. A stands for advocate with purpose. I talk about negotiating medical bills, how to get refunds from hospitals if you feel like you've paid out a lot to your providers, how to overcome medical denials from your insurance company, stuff like that. And S stands for seeking the right kind of support. And T stands for trust your gut. And I talk a lot about medical gaslighting and when to get a second opinion.
That all sounds incredible. You've really taken this and you're running with it and you're doing big things, and how admirable. I'm so impressed.
Thank you.
I love it.
It just means so much to me to reach women, young women, all women, and people in general. And um, another thing that I'm developing, it's called the Feel for Your Life Act, and I'm working with one of our state representatives right now to encourage high school students to learn how to do self-breast exams, testicular exams, and skin exams. Teenagers are very aware of their bodies. Let's teach them how to take care of themselves going into adulthood. So it's just something that's been impactful. I think from what I've seen, from the messages that I get all the time from women who just need help, who need resources, who need the right tools. And given that the way that cancer has run through my family, or I often say cancer sprints through my family because it's hit so many generations. And I know that if you don't have cancer in your family, you know someone who's been through cancer. And, it's just kind of that wake up call people think because, you know, they're young, they're invincible, and sure, cancer at younger ages is not as common, but this is a time to take care of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, Jessica, I so appreciate you and your message. And it's called Feel for Your Life on the App Store. If you want to download that, I encourage you to download that. Check it out. Do you also have a Facebook group or somewhere else where people can go for information or support?
Yeah, you can go to www.feelforyourlife.com. I have a Facebook page, Feel for Your Life, and an Instagram handle, Feel for Your Life.
Okay, great. Well, Jessica, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and I'm so grateful for all you're doing. I'm really glad that my Jessica introduced me to you. So
Yeah,
thank you.
likewise. Yeah, thank you so much for this and uh, just again for the opportunity to speak into your community. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, 100%. Okay, everybody, go out there and download that app. Let's see that app download number rise today and check yourself out. Be sure. Okay, thanks again, Jessica. Have a great afternoon. I appreciate it.
Thank you, you too.